Okay, guys, what's up? Excuse me. But today I wanted to talk to you about nerds and geeks. Really, what I wanted to talk to you about is culture. Culture as a whole. And what I mean is culture in teenagers. I don't mean like adults, because I know not a lot of adults probably watch my YouTube channel. It's probably a lot of teenagers like me. But anyways, I want to talk about culture, because today I felt like talking about culture. So today I want to talk about the nerds versus geeks conflict, because in my opinion, the conflict should not exist, because nerds and geeks do not exist, in my opinion, because we are only people. So let me talk about society's definition of each word. Okay, let's start with nerds. Okay, nerds are these intellectual people. They study things that are completely and totally weird and obscure, like the elements of the periodic table and pi and phi and sorry, I needed to breathe. Physics and anatomy and geology and science and math and statistics and stuff. And the harder subjects, academia and such. They become the scientific researchers and the physicists and the engineers and the statisticians, I can't say the word, of the future. That's just sort of the way it happens in our minds, in our idea. But geeks, they're the more laid back, relaxed they're more into pop culture type stuff, like books and movies and DC and art. And go. Anyone? They're more into music, ow, my hand, and video games, and give me literally 3 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to show my DS game collection here, because I have a 3DS. Namco Museum, Legend of Spyro Eternal Nights, Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, Super Mario Bros. 2, which I've already beaten, and it's amazing. You guys should play it. And the OG of the Marios, on DS, I think. Pretty sure. Super Mario Bros. 64, the best one that I've played so far. More into things such as video games and pop culture. Video games are like part of pop culture, aren't they, though? So, trivia, memorabilia, stuff like that. But they're not as socially awkward as the typical nerd. So, but why do we classify ourselves as these things? I mean, honestly, if you look in the dictionary at the definitions of these words, they weren't necessarily good things to be called. But now that society has evolved a little bit more, and by evolve I mean changed, because that's literally the definition of the word. But as society evolves, we create new definitions, because our words, we own them. They're copyrighted by us. We can change them at any point. That's why things like Urban Dictionary and YouTube exist. Because we keep changing things. We give them new meaning, and we reinforce old meaning. That's why being called gay is an insult. There's nothing wrong with homosexuality. So being called gay isn't an insult like it was in the 50s. So, honestly, the point of this video is, if humanity is one thing, then there are no categories that we can be categorized as, because no one fits into just one category. Because if everyone fit into one category, life would be completely and utterly boring. No one would like anything the same, so no one would be friends with anyone. We would be completely isolated. No human contact. Well, other than the looks at each other and probably sharing the same air, we wouldn't have contact with people. We wouldn't make friends, we wouldn't have family. Well, no, that doesn't make sense, scientifically speaking, but it doesn't... Lily, what are you doing? Look at this cat. She walked from right there. She was sitting on my bed, perfectly comfy on my blanket, and then she just walks over here and just jumps from the floor to the freaking bookshelf. Cat, you're confusing. Just don't shake the bookshelf. But, Lily, you're shaking the bookshelf. Come here, kitty. I'm her person. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. So, if we didn't like any of the same things, if we all fit into one category, nerdy, geeky, athletic, dumb, idiot, dork, weirdo, all the other different adjectives, we would not be a society. We would be nomadic, and we wouldn't be a society. We would be a species, but we wouldn't be a society at all. We wouldn't be a community like we are today. And that's why I think that these words should not really apply to people. I don't think they should. Because we don't fit into one category. Because you can be a nerd, a geek, a jock, all at once. My point is that all these adjectives are like a branch off of the one big thing. And that one big thing is awesome. That's literally what I'm saying it is. And we are all awesome. No matter what you are, who you are, what you like. If you like beanies or Lego or art or clothes or hoodies or necklaces or lava lamps or 80s memorabilia or Pokemon or Vanguard. It doesn't matter. You're awesome no matter what you like. No matter what you do, you are awesome. And no one can change that because we are all awesome. So so insults, put them all to the side because they're all pointless. We're all different things. So next time some jerk comes up to you and says, "Hey, you're a geek," or "Hey, nerd," you know what? Say wear it with pride. Wear it like a badge of honor. Because take a piece of paper and tape it to your shirt and write nerd across it. Write geek. Write dork. Weirdo. What the heck? Why not? Because they're pointless. They're meaningless words. They're only words that have meaning because we give them meaning. They're only words of power because we give them power. All language is completely arbitrary. Well, if you don't want it to have meaning against you, don't give it meaning. If some jerk comes up to you and calls you a nerd, calls you a geek, don't give him the power. Don't give him the power of the word. Because the word is powerless unless you give it power. So you can give it power for bad or for good. Or you can just make it not powerful. Because honestly, if being a nerd means I get to play Pokemon and Vanguard and video games and love Star Wars and Star Trek, if being a nerd means I get to walk around wearing a wizard robe and a Darth Vader helmet while saying "live long and prosper" with my hand, I am a nerd. I hope you guys like that. But I'll see you guys later. Boom. Bye.